Oh, here we got to mute. Let's mute everybody too. Guys, if I know this wasn't set to mute when you come in like normally we do. Mute yourself if you got some background noise because we will hear anything, or if you have another conversation that gets going, whatever, we'll hear it. So anyway, good morning, Kathy. You want to take it? Go ahead. Take it away.
Good morning, everybody. We are here for our Tuesday morning sales training. And so we're excited you're here. And we've got a special guest today. I'll introduce him in just a second. But before we do that, we've got another special guest. So you guys are doubly blessed this morning. So we've got Eric Golden. Most of you guys know Eric already. He's one of the co-leaders, co-founders of the Freedom Team, and contributes a lot to the Freedom Team. So we're grateful for him. And he has a new video that he is going to share with you guys this morning. And we're gonna all be better because of this video that he's created. So Eric, take it away, buddy.
Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm looking forward to hearing what Shaun has to say as well. But I am, you're too kind. I've just assembled some great speakers, and I've debuted a video called the 7 Top Tips to Generating Leads. This, as you know, is an open forum for all brokerages. I happen to have tapped the best resources we have within the Freedom Team here at EXP, but it's generic information, good for any brokerage and good for any agent. And it's a training video. It's 53 minutes long, and it covers, we'll call it 7 plus 2. There's 9 topics of the 9 best ways to generate leads, and most of them cost you virtually no money and just a few minutes or an hour a day consistently to generate 6 figures, if not 7 figures. And they've all proven it by their example. So that video went up late last night. It immediately got 20, 30 views and came down 5 minutes ago when I noticed a whole bunch of grammatical errors because for some reason I can't spell the word freedom. And freedom doesn't sound as free as when you sell it free doom. And so that being said, I am heading out with my wonderful, beautiful wife, who is my graphic designer. Again, all on me. She's from Brazil, so we can't blame her on that. And it'll be back up sometime later today or latest this evening. It will be on my YouTube page, EXP, Eric Golden, EXP, you'll find me. It'll be the top one featured right there. It will be sent out within 24 hours to each of you within EXP through the Freedom Team. We'll send a video, we'll send an email and or a text with regards to it. Or you can find me on Workplace Chat, Eric Golden. Happy to send it to you directly there as well. It's a phenomenal video. The speakers did an incredible job, each in their own lane, talking about the simple way to generate enough leads where you're going to get enough buyers and sellers, especially with what's going on yesterday and with the wonderful announcement that our company reacted to the Friday verdict and what NAR decided to do in their settlement. So sorry about the delay. I thought I had better news than that, but it will be out today. And again, looking forward to you guys having it. Thanks, Kathy and Jeff, for letting me come in real quick. And Shaun, sorry about taking some of your time.
You're fine.
We're excited about the video. I was able to see a debut of that. So you guys definitely want to check that out as soon as he has it back up. And so let's pop over to Shaun. Shaun, first of all, thank you. Like Jeff said, we're excited to have you on today. And for those of you that don't know Shaun, he's out of Ohio. I've known Shaun for a few years now, with being with EXP, and you know, he's just first and foremost, just a great guy. Just a great guy. He's very relational in his business. He's a 4-time icon with EXP, and he's not going to be talking about building relationships today, but he's very good at that. So if you don't follow him on social media, I would encourage you guys to just to check him out and just see some of the things that he does. And you know, he interviews his local restaurants and does giveaways, things like that. But today he's going to be talking about AI. We've we know that's the buzz in our industry, along with this whole NAR stuff. But from a learning perspective, he's going to be talking about AI and how to utilize it in our business, and how we can take this new technology that's kind of buzzing around and maximize our business. So Shaun, thank you so much. And I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good morning, guys. I appreciate you having me on here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. EXP has been a great fit for me. I love being able to, basically collaborate with agents. And that was one of the reasons I joined EXP. So I want to introduce you to myself. My name is Shaun Richardson with EXP. Joined about 6 years ago. If you haven't met me or sat through a training, Jay and Ashley signed me up. I just really feel like if we're not helping one another, what are we doing? So when they asked me if I was willing to do this, I said, absolutely. So some of it, I'm just going to be sharing what I learned when I was at Vegas. So if you didn't make it to Vegas, I also sent to Kathy and Jeff Morrell the link. It's like a slide so you guys can see this. But basically, a lot of us, our time is precious, right? We don't have a lot of time. So how can we free up more time? Well, AI has come along. And if you understand how to utilize it, you can do just that. You can free up your time. You can free it up by creating social media posts in just a matter of seconds, creating newsletters, creating listing descriptions. If you struggle to create a listing description, ChatGPT is perfect for that. You can create email blasts. I just sent out Sean's deal of the week this morning, right before the call here. And I just grabbed a listing that I thought looked like a hot listing. I grabbed their property description, plugged it into ChatGPT, put the picture in the email, put a link with the picture, and sent it out to over 1,600 people. So be that person, create good habits, right? So what habits do you have already? What can you add? So a good habit could be, guys, it didn't take me but maybe 10 minutes. Once a week, send a deal of the week, right? Put your name at the beginning. Hey guys, this is the deal of the week. And then at the bottom, you could always put a link. Hey, here's some other just listed properties. Be that person that's adding value. When it comes to this NAR situation, if you're not adding value, these buyers are not going to work with you. They're not going to pay you your compensation. So bring value. Also, if you know you should be sending out email blasts, video content, I know sometimes it can be a struggle, right? What do I come up with? How can I come up with a video? ChatGPT can help you. So I'm here to basically explain how I've been utilizing it a little bit. So how do you use it for social media posts? But here's a quick, simple example. I already had this picture. So what I do a lot of times, guys, is I start my morning off and I post a positive post. And if I don't have one, I'll go on Instagram and I'll search positive quotes, positive posts. I'll find something and I'll screenshot it. Then I take the picture and I take what's on there and I have ChatGPT then create something to put at the top of the post. And it also will create hashtags. But I'm going to be going over a little bit of how to utilize it, because it's not just like Siri. Like we're used to talking to Siri or Alexa, right? And we basically tell our phones, hey, this is what I want, play this song. What's the weather like? Things like that. But here we can actually train. And that's what I was excited about when I was in Vegas. He was talking about how to train your ChatGPT. And I'm like, you can train it? So I'm going to be going over that a little bit. Also, EXP has this thing called My Link, My Lead, right? So it wasn't really clicking to me until a few weeks back. And I got kind of excited, guys, because basically you can create a link using other EXP listings. So if there's an area that people in your area tend to move to, you can go to that area. Like for instance, here I clicked Orlando and I made a link. And so anyone that clicks on that picture will take them to a link. And if they want to see more or learn more about that house, it's going to send them to me. Then I can easily go onto EXP, send a referral. I know some agents down that way. So I'll just be getting a hold of them and I can pass the referral right there on, EXP Enterprise. They've made it very simple. If you haven't passed an in-house referral in a while, don't go on and create your basically referral form. You just go into Enterprise and My Agent Profile and, send the referral through there. It's very simple. You don't have to find their email, their phone number, none of that. You just got to know their name. It's very simple, a couple clicks, boom, you've passed a referral on. So EXP is creating ways for us to have different residual income. So I'm excited about this. So if you haven't looked into it, definitely dive in, check out my link, my lead. And then once again, I use Chat GPT on how to create a post. And then I also created a group, and it was looking to move to Orlando, Florida, I think was the name of it. So eventually people will be joining, and I'll be accepting them and posting stuff, interesting stuff. Sometimes I might just post something about Orlando. It may not be about listings. It might just be things to do, top 10 things. Once again, you can use Chat GPT and just say, hey, what is the top 10 things to do in Orlando? And create a list and then post it. Grab a fun picture, put it on there. It's all about adding value. This is a guy right here, guys, Phil Stringer. He was the guy that spoke when I was in Vegas. And so this is his slide deck. He shared it with everybody in the audience. Like I said, I've passed this on to Kathy and Jeff. So if you're wanting to get a copy of this slide deck, I don't have all of them on here, but he really had some powerful, interesting information that we all can utilize, and it can free up our time. So he also posted a couple of the apps that he uses as far as AI goes. He has one that takes short form videos from long form videos. So if you did like a 4-minute interview, or you talked about a house for 4 minutes, this app can cut that down, freeing up your time. Once again, you do something once and then use it multiple times. You know, if you're using it on a story on social media, things like that, creating a reel. So I would just encourage you, if you want to screenshot some of these, look these up, see if they're a fit for your business. You know, he has one there, build a website in 30 seconds. There's so many different AI apps that you can utilize, and I'm not utilizing all these, but I wanted to at least show you so you can look into them. Some of these may cost, I haven't had a chance to look at all of them yet, but there's 2 screens here of different apps that he is utilizing, how to use AI. And there's so many different forms of AI. It's not like there's just one AI app out there. And so what I encourage you to do is find some that really work for you and just have fun with it, learn all about it, look up YouTube videos on how to utilize that particular app, you know, find your niche. So this was step 1. He says, you know, you get to train your Chat GPT. And so this kind of blew me away, guys, because all that I had to do is you go on here and you know, I screenshotted this, and then you copy and paste the text into Chat GPT. Then it will then send you 25 questions about your business and who you are and your target audience. And so it's very simple. And what you're doing is you're helping Chat GPT to know how to answer your questions, how to create your post as you're creating them, so that it's more like you. So instead of it just being general, it's going to create stuff similar to how you would create stuff, right? So if you're struggling with content, I mean, right here, this one right here, you copy and paste this, put it into Chat GPT, 100 high value, super interesting, you know, lesser known clickbait style content ideas. And so what I did is when I did this, I went into my notes and copied and pasted what it gave me, put it into my notes. So it gave me 100 different content ideas. And so every day, if I'm trying to think, I don't have to really put a lot of thought into it, right? I just go to my note. All right, which one do I want to post today? And I'll find one that I thought was interesting, because there's 100, and then I'll grab that. Then I go back into my Chat GPT and I'll have it create a post about that particular content, you know, whatever that article was, whatever it was I wanted to talk about. If it's, for instance, why buy versus rent, right? So if that's a content, then I can have it create content. And then from there, I have my post. And then you can go and search some kind of photo that fits your description, that kind of grabs people's attention. Once again, you're creating content without having to put a lot of work into it. And so I love the idea of being able to do something once, and then it's there for you over and over and over again. So if you have like 30 to 45 minutes and you want to spend some time answering those questions, training your Chat GPT, then coming up with this list, right? And so now when you're thinking about what should I post on whatever social media platform you're using, right? Like you can put it on all of them. But the main thing is to be doing something. If you want to create a newsletter, this is it's impressive, guys. So once again, you're just copying and pasting it, putting it right into Chat GPT. You can say, hey, I would like 52 weeks worth of newsletter content. And then you're telling it what you want it to be. How would you like it to create that? So he's laid this all out. So literally you just have to plug and play and then put it into your phone, save it where you can find it, whether you have notes or whether you want to, email it to yourself, whatever that looks like, save it where you can find it so that you have your answers. So here's an example, right? And it says at the bottom, open rates are highest on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 1 p.m. So if you're like, well, twice a week, I'm going to send out a newsletter. Like I said, one of the ideas is you could send out the, listing of the week, deal of the week, whatever you want to call it, but be putting something out there where people are opening it, reading it, knowing that you're the go-to person. You're the person that's sending them something. If they were sending you the email, would you want to read it? So keep that in mind. So once again, you can create this information, plug and play. It's very simple. So you can also train it with your business goals, right? Like, what are some goals you have in your business? And so once again, you're copying and pasting. It has 100 content ideas. This was, I believe, for a different, hold on a second. This was for newsletters. So you're coming up with 100 content ideas. The first one was for social media. So if it seems similar, that's why. But he literally has all these different slides. And so, maybe you're not a social media person. Maybe you're the kind of person that just sends emails. Once again, you're creating this, email. Are you creating a blog? KV Core has a blog. And if you're not using KV Core, I'm sure whatever website you're using has a blog. So if you're struggling to come up with content, it can help you create your content. 52 weeks a year, come up with some kind of blog, something where if people are Googling, maybe your blog pulls up and then that pulls them into your website. Search engine optimization, right? These are huge, guys. Google feeds, it's different than social media. You're not using hashtags. Like, basically, Google works where it's finding keywords. And so if the words are not in your post, if they're not in your blog, if they're not in your email article, whatever that is, it won't find it. But if you're using keywords, and so you can utilize Chat GPT to make sure that the words that you're using, because it says it right in here, that it's going to basically use strong words that will help people find what it is you're posting. And so all it takes is to put a little thought into it and to really kind of think a little bit about, who am I trying to reach? Who is your target audience? Who is it that you're wanting to find this? And then gear your blogs, gear your emails towards that so that it'll attract people. That's what you're doing here. You're attracting using search engine optimization. So we go on to the next one. He has a year of YouTube videos. So think about that, guys. Instead of you having to sit here and really rack your brain thinking about, what videos should I be creating? Chat GPT can give you that, exactly what you need to be creating, topics to come up with. Once again, you're just copying and pasting, putting it in there, getting it to know who you are. So if you didn't do the first two, this is just YouTube. He sent out different ones. This was just for YouTube. So you start off training it on how you want to run your business. Then you have your 100 content ideas for YouTube. And this is the slide where you would use it for YouTube. And now it's going to give you 100 short videos or long videos, whatever you want it to do. But the main thing is you want to make sure that people search, whether they're searching on Facebook or YouTube, are they finding you? And are they interested in what you're having to say? And so if you're like me and your time is precious and you're like, I don't really know what video I should be doing this week. Once again, you can put this in, find a video idea, then tell it, all right, now create a script for me, because I would like to do a video about, how to maintain your home in the spring. Spring's coming up, always think of the time of season we're in and be that person that's going to put something out there where someone's going to go, oh, that was really interesting. I didn't know that. You could have the top 10 reasons to clean your house this spring. And you can have the different reasons, from gutters to the furnace filters and all these different things, come up with interesting content. And so I think as agents, if you're not putting content out there, they're going to go to someone that is. Especially if you live in a bigger city, You got to find a way to stand out. You got to find a way for people to remember you, to know what you offer and what you're all about. The more you show yourself as the professional, the more they're going to come to you. And here it's telling you can schedule your whole year out with content. So now that you told it, here's 100 ideas. Now put it on my calendar for 52 weeks and schedule that out so that I can now schedule my 52 weeks of, video content. And so once a week, you're creating that video. Does anyone have any questions so far? Because I feel like I'm just talking to myself, and I'm just curious if there's any questions.
I don't know if there's any questions. We'll take those. Great stuff. Here's the thing: what I think about, Shaun, it's like there's that setup time, which tends to, people like they add it to their list of things to do and then never get to it. It reminds me, a few weeks ago, Tim Hollenden came in and how he basically got up to $1 million a year, primarily with FSBOs and expires, and he had this whole 7-letter campaign that he talked about. Now it's about probably 4 or 5 hours of really truly going in and setting that up. But once it's up and it's running, and I would just tell people with this, I mean, keep listening to what's going on here, taking the notes, watch the replay when we have that available. Like once you set this up, you can get it going. The setup is the time involved. Now it's just simple stuff that you do on a weekly basis or whatever that just will run now so much more. And so anyway, don't get overwhelmed by all this stuff. I mean, it's just like, it's that initial thing to get it going, and then it can really take off for you. So just a comment more than not a question. But does anybody have any questions, guys, while we're taking a little break here for a second? Anything so far?
I have a question.
Sure,
Yes.
Kate.
So you go to ChatGPT and they come up with like content for, I don't know, a YouTube video. Is there a AI site you know of where you can take that verbiage, plug it in, and it creates the video?
I'm sure there is. I haven't learned that yet. There's so much to learn when it comes to AI. There's so many different apps and different ways of doing things. But yeah, I would definitely, look that up, see what you can find as far as that goes. But there's got to be someone out there that's come up with that. I just personally haven't.
Well, I know this now too, and Kate, like, you can, there's a couple sites now where you can actually go and you do like a 10-15 second recording of yourself, video, and your voice and all that stuff. And now it will create more videos using you. And you can, I mean, I've seen them. If you're not really, really looking, you can't tell that it's not you. It's you. I mean, there might be one little thing with like a blink or something that just looks a little bit off, whatever, but that they're so close under where that's just like, it's not even an issue. So I'm sure there's a way to do that, Kate, where, again, you record like that piece of yourself and now here's the content, and it does a 45-second video using you, Kate, and your voice, but it's not you. It's all, I mean, it's crazy what's going on with this stuff.
HeyGen is one that will do your AI video of yourself. I was just wondering about taking the words and creating it into a video.
Right.
Yeah.
They're probably
definitely definitely something to look into. This slide here is talking about YouTube. When it comes to the thumbnails, do y'all create those? Like I always go on Fiverr and I have them create a thumbnail. It really pops. It grabs your attention more instead of just putting the regular video on there and letting it grab something from the video. It's not that expensive. I think it ends up, I mean, I always tip the guy, ends up being like maybe $16. But every time I list a house, I send him a picture of the house, maybe 2, depends on the house, right? If it's got a beautiful backyard, I'll send a picture of both the front and the back. I'll send my picture, the EXP logo, I'll put on there the address. But here it's saying that it can help you with ideas for the thumbnail. So to grab someone's attention, right? Because you're trying to get them to click on your video. So like I said, if you're struggling with content and different ideas, ChatGPT can really help you. You just got to put a little bit of work in and really kind of come up with a game plan of what works for you. If you're not YouTube, then obviously the YouTube's not going to be the way you go. But if you're able to do video and want to create some content and you're just struggling with what do I talk about? What do I post? This can really, really help you out. He has a slide for custom ads. So basically, once again, you train it by pasting that in there, answering the questions, and then it comes up with different pain points, right? And so you create an ad on pain points, and You know, some people, you got that family where they're bursting at the seams. They don't have any room. They really need more storage. They need more space. You know, this can help you come up with the content to reach these people, to really intrigue them, to grab them. You know, that way when you're creating these ads, it's not just a wasted money. It's actually targeted. It's very specific, and people will click, right? It's the whole idea of creating ads is get people to click on them. Captivating hooks. So this is all in here. So like I said, if this is something that you're wanting all the slides, you know, reach out to Jeff or Kathy. I've texted that to them. There's more than what I have on here. It's like 36 pages, I believe. But I just thought I'd share. And if you want to screenshot this, follow him. His name is Phil Stringer. He was the guy that shared all this. He came up with all this information. And I thought it was really interesting and I thought, why not share this with you guys, pay it forward. I've been utilizing AI more and more. An app I've been using, if you like to virtually stage your houses that you list, if you know you got a vacant property, instead of paying someone to always be creating a virtually staged room for you, I downloaded this app called Virtual Staging AI. And I can't remember what I paid. I did have to pay for it, but I mean, that's business. I pay for it when I pay someone to take pictures and create a virtually staged. I think it was like 24 bucks a picture that I used to pay. So basically I paid for the whole year, and I can just go in and create as many virtually staged pictures as I want. And what's really cool about that is if I don't like one of them, it gives me multiple options. So I can go and look and search all these different options it gives me and pick the one that I think fits that room the best. So I thought that was really cool. And then if you guys haven't been on their website, when you go to EXPCon, there's a place called Box Brownie, and it's just simply boxbrownie.com. And I use it to create twilight photos. It's like $4 a photo. So like if you got a cool house and a house with a pond, you can always get a couple cool twilight photos. I just listed one as a coming soon, and I haven't even paid for pictures yet. I just took a few pictures with my phone, sent it to Box Brownie, had the twilight photos created. It looks perfect. It's exactly what I was wanting it to look like. They can also virtually stage photos, but you will pay. But the thing I like about Box Brownie is they're using AI for their property descriptions. And so if that's you, if you're really struggling for a property description, they're not currently charging anything for that, by the way. So you can go on there and you can have AI create a property description. It'll ask for the address, bedrooms, baths, acreage, things like that. And then you put everything in there. So what I do, guys, when I'm at my listing, I take as many notes about what's going on in the house, right? Like every little thing counts, from flooring to countertops, you know, garbage disposal, what appliances stay, are they new? Anything that you think would just grab people's attention. I mean, 2-story home, masters on the main, you know, large walk-in closets, pantry, 3-season room, 4-season room, pond, outbuilding. Every last detail counts. And so put all these notes in your phone. Then when you go to create your property description, because honestly, that was my struggle. Property descriptions, I would spend so much time just racking my brain, trying to come up with a property description. Now all I have to do is basically copy and paste all of my notes into there, the Box Brownie, and it creates my listing description for me. And you might tweak a few things here or there. Sometimes it uses a few words that I just wouldn't use. But at the end of the day, it's very helpful. It sounds so much more professional than what I can. So definitely recommend, if you haven't, check out Box Brownie. Go to their, it's not called property description, it's called Copyright AI, I think. And then that's where you create your property descriptions.
You can use ChatGPT for that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was just given different options.
Yeah.
So if you haven't tried Box Brownie, I just thought I'd mention it. Like I said, it's been a nice little help for me with my listings, whether it be the photos and virtually staging, but I'm no longer using the virtual staging on Box Brownie because I found that app. So
Box Brownie's good. We've used it.
yeah,
Really good.
awesome. And if you have a lower price listing, like I just listed a trailer, so I'm not paying for pictures because it's just not worth it. I sent it to Box Brownie. I think I paid $50. I had them edit each photo to make it as bright as possible. And they just tweak each photo. I think it's $1.80 a photo when you do that. So it's definitely worth it. Just make sure you're getting some good angles. I don't recommend usually using your phone, but when you're getting such a low price listing, you got to treat every listing like it's your best listing. So I wanted it to look good, and the photos turned out good. Did a twilight photo, so. That's really all I wanted to share, and I wanted to kind of just open it up to see if people wanted to talk about what they've been doing with ChatGPT or different ways they've been utilizing it.
Let's open it up, guys. Who's been using some AI stuff in your business up to this point? A lot of us getting started. Let's talk about it a little bit.
One thing that he had mentioned, Jeff, and I know you've used this a little bit, maybe you could touch on it, is Opus. He had one of the tools that Shaun just went through that Phil had on that slide deck is Opus. Why don't you mention? I know
Have you used that,
a couple
Shaun?
of
Have you
times.
used Opus?
I have not, but I'm definitely, let me see, I downloaded quite a few of the AI apps.
Opus is good. You basically upload a video into there. It could be any length, and it will cut it into shorts. It'll give you a title. It puts the captions on there that we see. You can use different, if you pay for it, and it's not very expensive. You can do a free version, but if you pay for it, you can do a little more options in terms of style of captions, the background of what the video is going to look like. It'll put music on it. It'll do all kinds of stuff. It gives you the topic or whatever, like a title for it. It'll give you hashtags. Let me find it here real quick. Because I've got it I just got it saved over here. It's like Opus Clip, where is it? Opus Clip. Opus.pro is the website. Opus.pro. So yeah, really good. You can take one video and turn it into just a bunch of, shorts. And it does it automatically. You have to watch them. You want to go back and watch them. There's some that you won't use, but there's most of them it does a great job with it. So yeah, Opus.pro. There you go. And I did put this slide deck, guys, down into the comments. We'll also attach it in the YouTube page and the Freedom Team Workplace group. We'll put it in there as well, so you have access to all that. Mike Okert, you had yourself unmuted. You were starting to say something there. So good morning, sir.
Good morning. I was just going to say that most of what I used is the Chat GPT to create any type of little articles that I have or simple post that I'll do. So that's about the extent of it.
Okay. Yeah, it's getting better. It's amazing. It's just gotten better and better and better. Another good one, guys. You can do longer stuff. It's Poe, P-O-E, Poe.com. That's one that I've used. You can literally put up to I don't know. It's like Kathy. We used it down there in Dallas. Poe. Yeah. I mean, you can do 25 pages. You can take a whole Word doc and put it in there with everything. It can get so much more detailed even than what ChatGPT can in terms of your instructions to it, something to look into. And again, it's free. Yeah. Doesn't cost anything.
So Shaun Corbett said that he'd used AI to create ongoing social media posts with Facebook and LinkedIn. Shaun, share a little bit more about what you're doing.
Sure. Yeah, I've taken a few AI training courses on some of this stuff, and I started simple, right? Property descriptions, AI generated photos and things like that. And I met a guy that's pretty well versed in it, and he was only in AI. He wasn't in real estate. And we started kind of working through what he could do for me. And I have quite a bit of video content out there, training, coaching, teaching. And what we did, and some of them were just, podcasts. I would just be talking. And it took my videos and it created posts for LinkedIn and for Facebook separately in kind of a different format, different emoticons or whatever they call these things. And it kind of created links or posts. And then I had Jenny, my admin, she would actually create the thumbnail she didn't use ChatGPT. She used another one. I heard some of you saying Fiverr and some of that stuff. You can do this for free, and it will create thumbnails that match whatever your content is. So now I have a thumbnail and I have content, And then I have a link back to my video where I actually created the content. And I've been posting that twice a week for since January 1st. And I've already got enough content to be ready for my second quarter. And we're kind of fine tuning it. We're finding out that, certain pictures and things to create these thumbnails are looking a little canned, and you're starting to be able to pick out, well, that's obviously they didn't create that. So we're starting to learn what's the second round going to look like. And we started removing all those little icons that, they're fun and popping initially, but now they're starting to look canned and not as clean and fresh. So we're making adjustments as we kind of go through this, but I do it really for just building a solid base of consistency, and people will call me for expert advice based on my content that's ongoing. So that's the reason why I do it. I don't actually reach out to, and I know I've probably mentioned this before, I don't do much cold anything. I only generally work with relationships or people that know me through someone else. And it just makes, selling real estate real easy when you can get to that, right? So I just have this ongoing base of good information just for any of my people. And one other thing, on Facebook, you can build an audience of people that you have your emails and phone numbers, and you can build a database within your phone that connects with that Facebook audience, so that the people you want to stay in front of consistently under that content, you can consistently stay in front of all the time without having to remind them you sell real estate. Anyway, just a few thoughts.
Do you put more on, or you kind of equal more on Facebook or more on LinkedIn?
I post twice a week the same. The same time I post, I have a VA in the Philippines, and she actually gets on my back office, or both of them, and posts in Facebook for me, and she posts in LinkedIn, and they're different. They're different contexts, they're different audience. LinkedIn is going to be more professional, more networking, more value add to other professionals, where Facebook is more emotional, more real estate, local, things like that relate to them more on an emotional level. So
yeah, Paul just said, is that a virtual background or an actual office you're in?
I used Fiverr for that. So I took my logo and I sent it to them, and I gave them a number of options, and they came back and threw all kinds of stuff. So it's a virtual.
Nice. Who else is doing some AI? Specifically, has anybody created newsletters that they're mailing out to clients, or anybody? I'm curious if anyone's doing any newsletters with AI.
I also do that. I don't use AI. I just use the keeping current matters, but I'm using my own content that AI helped me fine tune and clean up. And we're using that in my newsletters. So I use it kind of indirectly. But I just use keeping current matters. I'll share this advice with everyone on here. Most of us wait and wait and wait and wait before we start doing anything. And I'm just as guilty as anyone else. I started building my sphere of influence the beginning of last year, probably about this time last year. And I did not send out my first newsletter until January. Okay, don't do that. This year? Yeah, this year. Yeah. And that was, I wanted to find a good one, professional, look sharp. And I just said, forget it. I need to start sending something. And I just, because getting my systems to all connect and work together, and I didn't want to duplicate. Like if I changed a phone number in my phone, I wanted it to update the database that's going out to my audience. And I didn't want to have to mess with that. So getting to the point where I got to where that all worked, I finally landed on using, I don't even use a KV Core for that. I use Boomtown. I think I use that for video email content, and I'm using KCM newsletters and Boomtown. So I'm consistently staying in front of everyone just once a month. That's what I do.
How many people did you build your database to when you started building it last year?
So we always talk, right? We want to talk about generating at least 100 people. And I use the term for primary as people that know you by first name. That's the way I always start relationships. If they know you by first name, you know them by first name. That's a really good primary content that we want to stay in front of. Not to sell them things or talk about real estate, but just to how are you doing, connecting with them, giving them value. And we want to make sure we have at least 100. I started with about, I think 700 or 800 when I finally got to my database. Now this is 17 years of work, and I never built a sphere of influence until beginning of last year. So I finally realized I'm losing deal after deal, and we all are, if you're not consistently staying in front of your primary sphere of influence. If you don't stay in front of them, they're giving your business to someone else. So I finally got tired of that. And I had, COVID last couple of years, like a lot of us struggled. And I said, I don't want to struggle anymore. I want to have a pipeline full of people, and I already have the relationships. There's no reason why I should have to be paying for anything. I already have the built-in sphere of influence. So I got to about 800. And right now I've got about 2,000 between my primary and my secondary that I stay in front of multiple times. You want to hit them about 40 times a year, and every 100 people, you'll get 7 closings. Every 100 people, you'll get 7 closings if you can touch them 40 times a year. And that can be the Christmas gift. That can be, a text, how are you doing? It could be anything. Just stay in front of them that many times over the year, and you'll get 7 deals on every 100 people.
And tying into that, I think that's a good point, right? But we talked about building our database. We've had trainings around how to work the database, but taking what we're learning today and what you're talking about right now, Shaun, and utilize creating newsletters, right? Using this AI technology, because as you also said, most of us just get stuck and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to send. So you mentioned KCM. Jeff uses it. I use it, like Keeping Current Matters. It's a subscription base. It's like $29 a month. It's not very expensive, but they also have social media graphics. They have the newsletters you can create, like Shaun's talking about. So it's a great tool, but now you can also all the things Shaun Richardson was talking about, utilizing these other tools to create content to mail to your sphere. For me, same thing, been in business a long time. And people are always trying to buy leads or figuring out how do we get leads. If we would just take our database and create a database and take all of your marketing dollars and pour it back into your database, you probably would have all the business that you care to have. You don't need to go chasing the cold leads. But it's the 40 times a year, like Shaun's talking. You can't just mail one thing or email one thing and 6 months later send something else and expect you're going to see a lot of fruits from that. And so it's that consistency of doing all these things we're talking about. So Tracy, I see you hearting and clapping, and Tracy is great. She's one who is just really good, I feel like, about utilizing these. But do you use how are you using AI, Tracy, right now? Are you implementing that yet?
Right now, other than what KV Core does, I do use Chat GPT for video. For the property descriptions, but I'm really loving some of the things that Shaun shared and just all of you guys, and I'm going to implement some of those. But other than Chat GPT for property description, that's all pretty much. Yeah, and I was clapping and hearting because I ditto everything you just said about we already have everything in our hand within our sphere. We're just not working it. And so if we get into that and make that sphere our database, we're going to win. Yeah. Really. Mm-hmm.
And to Shaun's point, so if you want to figure out your numbers, how many deals do you want to do? To Shaun Corbett's point, if 100 people garner 7 deals, I've heard 10, it's about 10%. So anywhere from 7 to 10 deals per 100 people. If you're wanting to do 25 deals, you're going to need 250 people in your database that you're touching 40 times, or 300, 250 to 300, depending on what number you go with. But it's as simple as that. We just want to make it a lot more complicated. And now with these tools, the AI tools, it makes it so much more easy. And we can create newsletters and come across like we're just as smart as we are. Now we just get to articulate it with AI help. So who has a question or comment? Who's using AI? Who is besides just using it for listing descriptions? Who has actually started using AI? Kate, what are you doing, Kate?
Well, the little bit of time that I've spent on it, I had a nice article written for me in Real Producers And I wanted to take that content and create a video with it. And so I went to a site that's called InVideo AI, and I just copied the article, the words into it, and it created a video. And I can share that with anybody who might want to see it, but maybe that's, once I learn a little more about it, I can upload different photos to it. It did put stock photos in there for me, kind of different videos and things like that. Not necessarily of me, but I found that I could upload some photos of me. And so I'm kind of in process of fine tuning that. And I can change the text in it. Some of the stuff was a little wordy or didn't necessarily have to be in the video. And so it's allowing me to do that. And that was really easy. And it was free.
So now what you can do, what we were just talking about earlier, what Jeff talked about, now you can take that whole video, utilize Opus.pro and go create a bunch of shorts out of that and have even more content available for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
One other thing that might be really helpful, guys, especially if you're a newer agent, you know, as Kathy mentioned, I like to plug local businesses. I do videos with them. So let's say you're not into videos, you know, you're like, I'm camera shy, I don't want to do that. Instead of it being this negative, what can you do? So go in there, have a coffee with them, schedule lunch with them, get to know that business owner. It could be a furniture store, it could be a flooring company, a paint company. Really dive in and get all the details, all the nuts and bolts of what they offer. And then use Chat GPT to create a post about them. Just had a wonderful lunch with so-and-so from such and such company. So excited to basically, get to know what they offered. They offer the following, and then you can plug it in there and post that. And that person's going to be like, you just became my realtor. So if you're a newer agent and you're struggling and you don't have any connections, don't sit there and wonder why you don't have anyone calling you. Go out there and create it. Go out there and plug those local businesses, especially real estate related businesses.
Yeah. You did some, take that a step further, Shaun, because I know you even did some, like to get engagement, you would do some gift card giveaways, right?
Yeah,
to the establishment. And so talk just really quick about what you did with that. And
So I
did the
would
restaurant give them to you, or did you just buy them from them?
I started off with businesses. I knew the owners, and a lot of times they would go halves with me. So, for instance, if we were giving away $100, I would say, "Hey, I'm going to do 50. You do 50." When I was brand new, I did get people that actually would just donate, and I would just donate my time. So they would give away a gift certificate, or I could have them go in on something. So they were going in. Each of them would do a set amount, and then we would give a prize away after doing like 5 or 6 videos, because I was just trying to plug local businesses at the same time, get people to win something fun. It's always fun to come up with something that fits the season. So like right now it's March Madness. So you could do something with your local business owners and do something March Madness and do a giveaway. It could be for a basketball, it could be for a jersey. I mean, you name it, have fun with it, really just stand out, be memorable, show that business owner that you care about them, you want to see them succeed. And the more you plug into other people, like the more it will come back to you. So don't look at it as, what did I get out of that? Or that was a waste of my time. You're investing in your future, in the relationships that you have. And if you're being purposeful as to who you're meeting with, those people are going to run into your clients anyways. So like, I've mentioned painter, a cleaning company, think about it. When people are getting ready to sell their house, what are they doing to their house? Get a hold of those businesses. Not everybody wants to clean their house before they move. Not everybody wants to paint. Whatever it is that people do when they're getting ready to move, get a hold of those businesses, make it all about them, get to know them, put all the notes in your phone, contact information. I want to know every little detail you do about your business so I can put it in my phone so that when my clients are asking me, I'm going to think of you. And so the more you focus on that, they will remember you, because they'll be like, man, that realtor really made me feel special. He really took time out of his day or her day to come and help me with my business. How many other realtors in your area are doing that? By doing that, you're showing them that you care, and then they will. I mean, it just happens, right? Like The more you do that, the more it will come back. You just can't get away from it.
Adrienne, did your question get answered? Did it? Okay. Okay. I saw you here in the chat. And Tig mentions this, if you have kids, you can post family friendly events and businesses. And I mean, that's a great way to, if you just look in like Facebook and look in the events section and like look in your area, all the and just, I don't know, every couple of weeks, just put out something like, here's the upcoming events the next couple of weeks, whatever, the St. Patty's Day parade downtown, whatever, there's this thing, there's the, you can pick like 4 or 5 of those things that just kind of resonate with you and do a quick video and use AI to put, what you just mentioned, Kate, like, what was that, Kate? What was the video? What was the name of that site?
It was called In Video AI.
In Video AI.
Video, all one word.
Okay.
I don't know if you have your video handy that you could put right here. But if not, send it to Jeff or myself.
How long was the video? How long was it that it made?
Came out to be 2 minutes. I could share my screen if anyone
Share your screen.
wants
Just
to
show
see
the
it.
first like 30 seconds or something, just so we can see here. Let me, we'll make you a co-host.
Okay.
You
Gotcha.
can kick us. Did you do it? Okay, good. There you go.
No, hold on, I didn't do it yet.
So we can see what you did there.
Let me see. Share screen. Keep talking. I'll find my way into the screen share.
I should be able to hit share screen right now.
They changed the location on me yesterday.
Paul mentions this. Yeah, that's a good point. You can use Chat GPT for getting questions for each business to ask.
Yeah.
Titles, catchy headlines. There's so many things you can do with it.
I mean, in about a year, we're going to be so dumb because we don't think for ourselves anymore.
Okay, let's see.
Everything's going to be Chat GPT.
Oops, not generate play.
Born in Connecticut and raised on 3 acres of public service land, Kate's early life was steeped in nature, fostering a deep connection to the environment. This connection would become a driving force in her life, eventually leading her to Boulder, Colorado. Earning degrees in economics and environmental conservation from the University of Colorado, Kate transitioned her passion for the environment into the professional sphere. Her career began at the Environmental Protection Agency, where she contributed to the Superfund contract, a project aimed at cleaning up some of America's most polluted.
Yeah, that's not my voice, obviously, and it just took all the content and generated that video.
Kind of cool. Like a 2-minute video. In Video AI.
Yeah.
Wonder if you can get those, like, in the videos all had the stock image thing on there.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can replace those, or maybe you pay to have it.
I was going to say, there's probably a paid version.
Buy
for
a
that.
pay thing and you can get that removed.
Probably pay that, or I noticed when you're editing it, you can change what you wanted in there. That's where the picture of me came from.
Okay.
But just started dabbling in it. So I don't know if that's the best or even worthy.
Well, it's just another tool to check into.
Right.
So we have about 5 minutes. Any other questions or comments that, Tracy, what did you can get an area video from homes.com?
Yeah, so homes.com goes into different areas now, and it will give you they'll give you the highlights and the historical points of every area. And also even for agents, like with homes.com, not to give them a whole commercial, but you can look up any agent in the whole nation from homes.com, their sales, that helps you with your referral business. It also tells you what areas that this agent is mostly specializing in, because they take your sales and say, okay, she does this many in South Fulton, she does this many in Nashville, Tennessee, or she does this many. I value that. But as I was looking at her video, those aerial videos and stuff, we're like, oh my God, how can I get that? I'm thinking you can probably copy it from homes.com and grab those videos of your area and add them into your video biography or whatever.
That's a good idea.
Definitely.
Good.
One thing, I'm going to share my screen here for just a second, Kathy. And just to show you guys, so he mentioned Box Brownie, boxbrownie.com. You can take a picture like this on the left, cloudy day, and turn it into this picture on the right. Green up the grass, whatever, for $1.60. It does have the virtual staging. I think we can, we mentioned, I think, you can do that now even with ChatGPT. I don't know if ChatGPT does. I'm sure it probably does. Like in this case, it declutters a room. Like on the left, you can take all that stuff off the kitchen counters and turn it into this over here on the right. And it costs about $4 to do that. Does the twilight pictures like that if you want to do that for $4. So that's boxbrownie.com, guys. And then one other thing just to share is we talked about this with keeping current matters. I talk about that a lot. I'm not here to plug it, but it is a great service. For you can take this like this email builder right here, and you can basically put together like a newsletter. If you just click buyers, and this is all editable, so I could take this out, but it'll put in like here's read the full post, and then here your home is a powerful investment. What mortgage rate do you need to move? It'll put it in like 3 or 4 different articles. It puts in a video as well. And then with this right here, it's just a 1-page thing. But again, to take that now and you can then download it. You just put it right into KV Core or whatever CRM you're using, and you could email blast it out to, 500 people, 1,000 people, whatever you want to do. It has one for buyers, it has one for sellers, and then it has one with just the latest content, which, has both, so just kind of a more, whatever, different thing, making an offer on a house, sweet spot for selling a house, why today's seller's market is good for your bottom line. You can also go in and create your own, pick your own content right over here. So you can go right here to latest, that's the latest content selection. You can pick and choose the stuff that you went in there from however far back it'll go, So anyway, just know that that's there. It's available. I do like keeping current matters. It's a quick way. You could send out a newsletter, twice a month, or basically like that with great content. And it literally takes all of 2 minutes to do. It's so quick and easy.
Share that again real quick and show them, which is not the content stuff, but just show them, how they have the articles on the current news, the current news topics.
I'm not sure what do you mean, Kathy?
The front, it's on the front, I think at the front screen. We've talked about this before. I'm not
like on just the blog post. Like here's the blog post every day.
No, the social graphics, I think, is what
social graphics every Thursday they come out with 5 new
that.
social graphics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So last Thursday these 5 came out right here. Latest trends in national housing, national trends in housing. And again, you can take this right here, and I'll do this. I'll do this every day.
Yeah.
Or you can have a VA do it, whatever. But all I can do is I can take that right there, just that graphic. If I share now, share to Facebook, I just copy that. I take out the keeping current matters hashtag, and then share to my Facebook business page, and boom, it's up. And it does it that fast. I could do that to LinkedIn. I could do it to X or Twitter, and I could do it to Instagram or whatever social media sites you have to this. You can also customize this the way it looks. Like if you see other people posting, I can change the colors on that. If I can change the colors on it, however you want to do. That one I probably wouldn't change. Green for money. But you can change, there's all kinds of ways to do it. That's just a quick one that you can do. I take that same picture, I put it on my Google business page. I put it on my Google local leads page. And again, it literally takes 30 seconds and it's done. Same with the blog post. But the email builder, what Shaun had mentioned earlier, I think this is a great one to do in terms of just a quick, simple sort of newsletter type template that you could send out once a week or once a month or twice a month or whatever you want to do, buyers, sellers, or kind of a mixed, bag of content to everybody. So very simple to do.
Now, Jeff, this is Ronnie Wiggins with in Jackson, Tennessee. Now, is there any particular charge for this prescription?
Keeping Current Matters, there is a charge for it. And Kathy, what do you say? What do you pay for?
$29.99 or maybe $39.99 a month.
Yeah, I did it annually. I did an annual thing for it, and I also did subscribe. They now have a local service where they'll give you local stats. So I did do that. So it was like, I don't know, $400 for the year, something like that. It was a little more expensive, but it has all the local information as well. And so I haven't used that as much as I thought I would because it still feels a little outdated to me. By the time you get the local stats, it's like, it's like from last month sometimes, and it just, it's all moving so fast right now, some of this stuff. So I haven't used that as much as I thought I would. I don't know that I'll renew that when it comes up for the renewal, but I'll definitely renew Keeping Current Matters. A little cheaper if you do it annually, but you can do it on a monthly basis as well. So,
Thank you.
but very inexpensive. I learned it from Jay Kinder. I did an interview with Jay, and Jay was #2 Coldwell Banker agent in the world, 500 deals a year. Him and his group, and I interviewed him back a year ago. I've been friends with Jay for 22 years now, and Jay had mentioned Keeping Current Matters. He's any agent that doesn't have Keeping Current Matters, like you're missing the boat. Like everybody should have that. So anyway, they do have that thing, Patricia, and if you use the video, they have a thing called Real Talk, because they put out a video every week that's personal, it's customized for you. But then you can also do it where you're actually doing the video, and you can take that for. I don't know that I would pay that honestly at this point, because I could take that blog post every day and turn that into a script on my phone using AI and just record it. Yeah. There's a service out there called Descript. I haven't used this yet, but I'm looking into it. So how you see people reading the copy, right? You can tell that they're reading like a prompter on their computer or whatever. Descript takes their eyes and stops them from looking like they're reading. I'm looking into that one as well. It's AI. And so Descript it is. But you could take, I could take that blog and put it into Chat GPT and turn it into give me a 50-second video script, whatever, with hashtags, with a title, all that kind of stuff. Now I just take that script and I could read that script right here, use the script to keep my eyes focused, right? Take out that reading part, whatever. And then I could dump it into like Opus and have them put it together, and put in some, or that InVideo one that you talked about, Kate, and put some images in there. And now I've got a video that goes out, and I could probably, once you do it a couple of times and learn how to do it, could probably have that done in 5 to 10 minutes. And do one every day without paying the $89 a month for Real Talk through Keeping Current Matters. Just different ways to do it. So they give you one script a week. Why not take that blog post every day and turn that into a script? You can do 5 videos a week with just using the content from Keeping Current Matters, but I would put it through Chat GPT to make it your own script.
Yeah.
So anyway, lots of ways to use it. So Shaun, thank you very much. Appreciate you jumping on, definitely, to do this. Guys, we will have this posted in just a little bit. We'll have it downloaded and up onto the Freedom Team Workplace group. Click on the Learning tab. You can find all of our past recordings on there. It'll be on the Freedom Team YouTube channel as well. If you're not part of EXP, you're always welcome here. You can go to our Freedom Team YouTube page, EXP Freedom Team. That's the page. And you can find all of our videos there as well. Next week, we have part 2 of Tim Hollanden's training that he did. Going to be giving us his whole layout for FSBOs. He did expireds. Now we're going to go into FSBOs. And again, between the two, he made $1 million a year for several years with just that marketing campaign that he did that. So next week is part 2 of that. So definitely looking forward to that one. Kathy, anything else you want to say to?
We'll have, along with the video, we'll have the slides posted. Jeff posted them in the comments too, but we'll have those attached as well. And thanks again, Shaun, so much. Good stuff.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Y'all have a
Thanks,
great week.
guys. Have a great day. Have a good week.
Great one.